Hey everyone, if you are an early stage or angel investor, particularly in the UK, you probably have heard the term Enterprise Investment Scheme, or simply EIS, being used and talked about. In this video, we're going to look at exactly what it is and how you can make the most of it when making investments. Now, I appreciate that many of my viewers don't come from the UK, and so this might not apply to you as such, but you probably have a similar scheme in your own country. So hopefully, if anything, this can give you an idea of tax-efficient investing. So what is EIS? Well, to put it simply, it's a government UK initiative started in 1994 that encourages investors to invest in early stage companies or startups by offering very attractive tax relief to those investors. I'll do another video on what sort of company is eligible to raise funds using EIS, but generally speaking, the requirements are the company is a young company, the funds that are raised are used for growth and development, and it's based in the UK. However, today we're looking at it from an investor's perspective, which also has certain requirements, such as you can't be connected with the company in a significant way, you don't hold significant financial interest in that company, you're not employed by it, you don't own more than 30% of equity, you're not a director. You also need to be a UK taxpayer. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description that you can go and see the government website for all the requirements. If an investment qualifies for EIS, as investors, you'll potentially be able to access the following benefits. You can claim up to 30% of income tax relief of the invested amount. Depending on your tax band, you can claim up to 30% of the investment against your income tax. The maximum amount you can claim relief in a single tax year is 1 million, which is effectively 300,000 of relief. You must, however, hold the stock for a minimum of 3 years and not sell in that time. You also benefit from zero capital gains tax, or CGT. If you sell an EIS investment and realize a profit, that profit is 100% tax-free. Again, investors need to hold these shares for at least 3 years. Another benefit is capital gains deferral. Say you have another investment somewhere like a property that you sell. Normally you would be charged capital gains tax on that. However, if you put the gains of that return in an EIS eligible company, that tax can be deferred until a later date. And you also benefit from loss relief if the investment fails. In the unfortunate event that it does, you can offset any losses against your capital gains or income tax bill. Now let's look at 3 different examples and how these features can be applied in practice. Let's say a company you are interested in investing in has qualified under the EIS scheme. You are an angel investor and you are on the highest income tax band, which is 45%. Scenario A. You invest £10,000 into this company or startup. Immediately you get 30% income tax relief, which is £3,000 that you can take off your tax bill. This means that your net investment or effective investment is only £7,000. Now let's say down the line the company does well and doubles in value over a 3-year period. This means that your £10,000 is now worth, say, £20,000, and you exit your position. You don't need to claim any loss release as it hasn't lost any value, and you don't need to pay any capital gains tax as it is an EIS investment. Your net profit is £10,000 plus the £3,000 relief you received, which is £13,000. Now, if you didn't have EIS on this, your profit would only be £10,000. I hope you can see that. Let's go to scenario B. In scenario B, you invest $10,000 like before, you claim the £3,000 of income tax relief, making your net investment as before £7,000. But after 3 years, it doesn't grow in value, the company actually stays the same, okay? And when you dispose of these assets, you get £10,000 back. You haven't lost anything, so there is no loss relief, and you haven't gained anything, so there is no capital gains tax anyway. However, remember you did claim back that £3,000 of income tax relief at the start, which means your net profit is technically £3,000. If you did not have EIS on this, your net profit would be 0. Let's move on to the third scenario. Scenario C. You invest £10,000, you claim your £3,000 of income tax relief, and like the other scenarios, your net investment is £7,000. However, let's say this time the company fails, goes bankrupt, and your original investment is now worth nothing. You obviously get nothing on the disposal of the asset. However, you are able to claim loss relief depending on your tax band, which in this example is 45%. This means that you can claim loss relief of £7,000 times 45%, which is £3,150. £7,000 minus the £3,150 of loss relief means that your net loss is only £3,850 on that £10,000 investment. Now here's one of the main incentives to why you would use an EIS scheme to invest. If you did not use EIS in this circumstance, your net loss would actually be the full amount that you put in, which is £10,000. That's quite a big difference to only losing £3,850 with EIS. I hope you can see why this is such an incentive to EIS investors. You are maximizing gains and minimizing losses. So let's move on. How do you claim EIS tax relief? Well, when you invest in an EIS eligible company, they should produce you with something called an EIS 3 certificate with a reference number. This is usually done within a few months of the investment closing, however it can take longer. You then need to submit to HMRC details of the investment, how much you are claiming, and the reference number. I've put a link below to the official government website with full details on how to do this. There is also another scheme called Seed Enterprise Investment Scheme, which is aimed at even earlier stage companies, and it has even better tax relief benefits, and I may do a video on that in the future if there is interest. I hope you enjoyed this one. As ever, thank you for supporting my channel, and if you enjoyed the content, please do hit that subscribe button. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all soon.